children, welcome to today's class. Hope you all are fine and you are maintaining all the safety measures. You're taking all the safety measures to keep yourself safe. Uh, we have already started matter this chapter before unit test, and little bit part is left, so that we are going to do today. That is expansion of matter. If we apply heat on matter, how they will expand, what will be the effect on the matter, that we are going to learn today through some simple experiments. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, we are going to do this with solid. It is expansion of matter, okay, by applying heat. So for solid, uh, for this we will be taking a clamp. This we can get in our lab. So to keep any substance fixed at its place, we generally use this. Okay, so through a clamp we will be hanging a sphere. Okay, this is made up of any metal. This is a metal sphere. Suppose it may be of iron or any other metal, it may be. Okay, so in the clamp we will be there is a this kind of ring. Okay, so through that we can pass any ball or this kind of matter we can pass. Okay, now here we are taking a metallic sphere. This is made up of iron or any other metal. Now what we are going to do, at first, before heating this sphere, we will be passing this through this hole. So easily it can pass through this. Okay, easily it will pass through this, and it's easily it will get passed through this, because the size of the metallic sphere, or the radius of the metallic sphere, is less than that of the ring. So it will pass through this. So afterwards, after passing this, what we are going to get, we can get a kind of, see, this is the ring, and when we will be passing this maybe you can hold it through your hand. So this will be passing through the ring. Okay, so it will be hanging in this manner. So now easily we can we have seen that easily we can pass the sphere through this ring. Now we are going to heat this metal. After taking it out, we are going to heat this metal. Okay, for suppose for 4 to 5 minutes we will be heating this metal. Now because of heating, the metallic sphere that will expand. Okay, it will expand, and after the heating process, without wasting time in this heated metallic sphere only, we will be passing through the ring. Now we are going to see that it will not pass through the ring. The expanded metallic sphere which we have heated, it will not going to pass through the ring, because now its diameter is more than the diameter of the ring. So through this simple experiment we can prove that, we can see that if we heat any metal, any solid, it will expand, its volume will increase, so it will not going to pass through the same metallic ring. So before heating, after heating, we are going to get two different pictures. So before heating, what we are going to get? This is the ring, and let us draw the ball with some other color, then we can see it properly. See, this is the ring and the ball I am drawing in with red color. The ball is of exact diameter of the ring. So this is the ball. Okay. So it is totally in size with the ring, and it's getting stuck. It can pass through this. Okay. So before heating, it can pass through this. So here we will be drawing this is the ball which already got passed through this ring, okay, inside of the ring. Next, after heating, what we are going to see, this is the same ring which we have taken first, and now the ball, as it already expanded because of heating, so it will get stuck in this ring. Okay, so it will be there only, it cannot pass through the same diameter of the ring. So this is after heating. Okay, it will get stuck, and before heating it can pass through this ring. So this was our experiment of expansion of a solid sphere. Now we will be doing the same expansion. We are going to do some experiment of expansion of liquid. This experiment is also very simple and easy, and for that you have to know few terms. That is, the first term is capillary. What is capillary? This is just like a kind of straw, but it is made up of glass. So it's a very thin diameter, very small diameter tube. Okay, this is made up of glass. So if we dip it in any liquid, then little bit of liquid will rise through this capillary. So this is capillary. Now let us do the experiment. Here in a test tube, see, this is a test tube, suppose. Okay, and in this test tube we are going to take some liquid. Suppose a red liquid we have taken here, any liquid, and using any ink and all, using any color, we can get the colored liquid from it. Achha. Now in this mouth of the test tube we will be putting a cork. I am drawing the cork in this manner. And here I am drawing it. See, this is the cork, a kind of cap we use in a test tube, and in this cork, at the middle of this cork, there will be a hole, and through this hole we are going to pass the capillary. Okay, so this fitting we will be using here in the test tube. So it will look like, see, this is the capillary, this is the capillary, and here it will be, this we cannot see through this cork, but little bit part of it will be out of the test tube. Here little bit part of the capillary will be out of the test tube, out of the cork, and maximum part will be there inside the test tube. Now if, as I have said already, that when we are going to we are going to put this capillary inside the test tube, some liquid will rise through this. Okay, suppose up to this we have taken the liquid, this is the level of the liquid. Okay, so up to this the liquid will get into the inside of the capillary. So this is the liquid level, you can see, and we will be mark it. Okay, after putting this, no, it will rise up to this, suppose. Okay, so this is the level of the liquid in the capillary. So this we have to mark, this level of the liquid we have to mark. Okay, at first, before heating, this is before heating, we have got the level of the liquid in this manner. Now we will be placing this same kind of clamp we will be using to set this test tube. And here we are going to take a big vessel with water. So the water I am drawing in this manner. This is water, suppose, and we are not going to heat this directly. We will be heating the water, and through water the heat will be transferred to the to this test tube. See, this is the test tube. This is the capillary, suppose. To fix the test tube, we have used this clamp. Okay, and here we are going to this kind of heating process we can call as water bath. Okay, we are not heating the we are not heating the test tube directly, but with the help of the warm water which we are heating, the heat will transfer to this test tube. So this is the red liquid which we have taken, and suppose the level of the it was up to this, suppose, as we have drawn before heating. So I'm just making it red full. Okay, up to this it was before heating. Okay, the level of the liquid in the capillary, it was up to this before heating. Now when we will be heating, gradually we can see that the liquid level in the capillary, it will rise significantly. Okay, here after heating we can see the level goes up to this. Okay, this is after heating. After heating, we are getting this. So before heating, the level was in this manner. The capillary inside the capillary, the level of the water, the level of the liquid was up to this. And after heating, when we are heating the liquid inside the test tube through water bath, the level of the liquid, red liquid inside the capillary will rise up to this. So you can see the difference. You can see easily, we can say from this experiment that after heating, the liquid has been expanded, and that's why the expanded liquid has been rise up to inside the capillary tube. Okay, so this was our experiment for expansion of liquid. Now we will be doing same kind of experiment with gas. Okay, to prove that gaseous substances also, or gaseous matter also, expand in this manner. So for this also we have to use a capillary tube. So how we will be doing that? In a test tube, this is for gases. See, the same kind of test tube we will be taking along with a cork, and we will be putting the capillary tube through this test tube. Okay, this is the cork. Now for gases, what we are going to do, we cannot take any liquid inside, so here only air will be there, which is a gas. So air particles we can say. So inside the tube there will be air, which is gas. Okay, now this capillary tube we will be dipping in a liquid. Suppose here we can use red color only for this. So this container is filled up with red liquid, and here we will be dipping the capillary. We will be dipping the capillary inside the liquid, red liquid. If we do that, we will see a little bit of a drop of this liquid will rise through this capillary. It will rise through this capillary. Just this we can do as we use straw, no, to have soft drinks and all. So in this manner we can get the liquid here. If we suck the air inside the capillary, then little bit of this liquid will get inside the capillary. If we dip that capillary in the liquid, then also we will be getting a drop of a little bit part of this liquid will be enough to do this experiment. So we will be doing in this manner. So a drop of liquid will get inside the capillary, and then we will be taking the capillary with the drop of the liquid here. So suppose the drop was here inside this capillary. Okay, this is the liquid, suppose. Now what we are going to do, this test tube we will be heating. Here we can use a burner. For heating purpose we generally use burners, okay, or spirit lamp also we use. So here we will be using the burner. Okay, we are heating this. So as we are heating, the air inside the test tube, that also get heated, and this will transfer the heat, or this heated air, that will push the red drop of the liquid through the capillary. So the level of this at first the level was up to this, and afterwards, after heating, we can see this capillary, the drop of the liquid inside the capillary, that will rise up to this. Okay, this position of the water drop, position of the liquid drop may vary. This will depend on the amount of heating, but you can see clearly, you can understand that the position of the water drop changes because of heating. So at first it was there, I am drawing this together. So this was its first position. This was the first position of the liquid drop before heating, and this is the last position or final position after heating. So clearly we can understand that as we have heated the test tube, and because of that the air inside the test tube has get heated, so it will change the position of the water drop inside the capillary. So through this we can prove that gas also expand because of heating. Now because of heating, chemical changes can occur. Chemical changes means changes are two type of changes are there. One is physical change, another is chemical change. In chemical changes we can get the new substances. We can these kind of changes are permanent. We are going to get new substances here. So a kind of chemical change because of heating, a very simple example of it is burning of wood or burning of piece of paper. If we burn any piece of paper, we can get the ash. After heating, we can first we will be heating the paper, and then when it will reach to the ignition point, it will burn. Okay, and after that we are going to get some ash from the paper, and that ash cannot be converted back to the paper again. That's why this kind of changes are permanent change, and these changes are irreversible changes. These changes cannot we cannot get back the before the changes, whatever substances were there, we cannot get back it again after the change. Okay, so this is a kind of chemical change. Here with candle, burning of a candle also, burning of a candle is also a kind of chemical change which we can get during heating. If we burn any candle, we will see from candle we will be getting, we get some carbon dioxide and water vapor plus heat. Okay, so from a candle, when we will burn a candle, we will be getting carbon dioxide, water vapor and heat, and slowly the size of the candle decreases because of the candle, whatever substance were there in the candle, that will convert to carbon dioxide, water vapor, and it will produce some heat. So this substances cannot be converted back to the candle again. That's why this is also a kind of chemical change. So different so using this heating, we can using burning and all, or using heating, we can do several type of chemical changes. So that we are going to learn in higher classes. So this was just a kind of some examples of chemical changes for heating. Okay, so today we have what we have learned today, the expansion of matter because of heating. This we have learned, and this we have done for solid, liquid and gas. All these three type of matters we have done. Okay, and at the same time, uh, if we apply heat, then we can get some chemical changes, that also we have seen. So up to this, and here we are ending this chapter matter. This chapter is there, I think you have got your half yearly portion matter. This chapter is there in the half yearly portion. So again we are going to revise this chapter. First of all, you learn all the things properly. You learn line by line, as we have I already told you all. You have to read line by line. Okay, and only objective questions are not enough. So you prepare yourself in that manner, that long questions may come. So in this manner you prepare, and for that you have to read the chapter thoroughly, properly, line by line. Okay, you can't miss anything from this. Okay, so this is, keep studying, do this, revise this chapters, and enjoy your study. That is very much important, so do that. Okay, so keep yourself and your family safe. Have a nice day. Thank you.